Hello.
Hello. Is anyone out there?
It's a mom's night out.
Okay. Welcome to a mom's night out.
Oh, we're really hopping in
Okay,
here.
we're hopping right in. I mean, we were just here for about an hour setting up some new lights.
Yeah, we got
It is
official lights.
not for the faint of heart. Like,
No,
it is.
I'm out of breath.
A grind.
It is bright back there.
But in the topic of tonight's sports, I do have a funny sports story. So all the kids played in the pouring rain in a mud pit on what? Sunday was it? Yeah. What's today? Wednesday. So Ava's cleats were so muddy.
Oh, yeah.
And Bryce today decided to spray them down with a garden hose outside.
And make mud again?
Make her shoes, her cleats, all wet.
Before practice?
Yep. So she's like, she's putting on her shoes. And I'm like, these are soaking wet. Like, Bryce, what? He was like, she can wear them. I'm like, no, it's also 40 degrees outside. Anyway, the things, men just, I A for effort, but.
Dads.
Also, couldn't you just smack them on the pavement?
That's what I was thinking.
They were
'Cause
so
they
bad.
were caked on.
Oh, it was so
Dried
bad.
mud.
That's what I made Reese
He
walk
wet
in
the mud
puddles.
again.
Yeah, it's not good. I was like, I'm just going to throw them away.
Oh, no.
No, I
That
won't.
bad?
They're pretty bad.
I did throw out the socks.
Yeah,
They were
You did?
a lost cause.
Oh.
Yeah.
I believe it. It was dirty. It was messy.
Spring sports, guys.
Sports.
I don't know where all of you are that are listening, but here in New England, it's an adventure. You never know what you're going to get. Sunday, yeah, mud pit. This weekend, snow. I'm just kidding.
It better not snow. Is it going to?
I think up north of us it is.
We're going to get 2 inches of rain.
All
All right.
April showers bring May flowers.
something like
folks.
that.
That's like when people say it's good luck to have rain on your wedding day.
Okay, so let's kick it off. This is our second episode on sports.
I know.
Hot
we did
topic.
one, I think it was almost a year ago.
Yeah, it was. Did you guys listen to it?
Nope.
No.
Oh, I did.
I know how I felt. So
Okay. Actually, so side note, I thought it was going to be awful because like I'm afraid to listen to some of our like original. It was not bad.
yeah,
It was really good.
We're pretty good.
We were
at
good.
this.
Yeah.
We're getting better every day.
But we were also like very fired up. So that probably had
Yeah.
something to do with it.
I'm sure
Still
it'll still be
feeling
fired
fired
up.
up.
So what are we talking about tonight in regards to sports, guys?
A little bit of everything. I think we should start of like what when we were kids and you were younger, like what were you playing? I'm talking like I think we should stick with the elementary school kids, right? Like because once you get middle school and high school, we'll come back and we'll do an episode on that. I think.
Well, we also don't have those age
we
kids
don't
yet.
have any
Exactly.
knowledge.
So anyway,
So
we'll get there.
if you're tuning in, this is for like 8-year-old grade school, 5th grade and below sports
You
is
can
what we're
laugh at
talking
us.
about.
You're like, these ladies don't know anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to
Wait
say
till
it's
middle school
Well, I'm going to say
sports.
it's pretty intense for elementary school, so it gets worse.
I think it does actually.
Yes, Mandy. Yes.
From what I'm hearing, it actually
I'm gonna
does.
tap out.
No, but okay. So when I was in elementary school, I did try every sport. Well, my town, we did not have. Okay. We didn't have like lacrosse. We didn't have sports like that. But like soccer, basketball. In the spring, I'm not sure. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, so it sounds like
Softball.
you did one sport a season.
Yeah, and like I would try like ballet, gymnastics. I forget like ballet got intense or gymnastics. It was like 5 days a week. And I was like, then you couldn't do it
Yeah.
because it was like right after school.
I definitely did gymnastics, hockey, and then I had to pick between the two because they were super intense. And then I didn't really play a fall sport. I never played soccer until high school, and then I played softball.
Okay, so when you say intense, what does that mean? You
Like five days a week or like multiple days a week. Or I think the gymnastics people were like, you can't do gymnastics and hockey. You have to choose one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I choose hockey.
Which is crazy at this age because I think kids are also just figuring out what they like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But I remember not choosing gymnastics and ballet because I was like, I want to be able to play like soccer and then something else because soccer was only 1 to 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could do something. You could do like it wasn't every day.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so different now, though, don't you? What did you play growing up, Mandy?
I did soccer in the fall, hockey in the winter, softball in the spring.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I do remember doing like gymnastics and balance, like dance, but I don't remember
like
like
at
the
what
age and
you
what
stopped?
and what time and like all that. So obviously nothing registered there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Do you feel
I
like
know
it's
spring. I'm like, what was in spring? Was it
Yeah,
soccer? Soccer, I think again.
You would do soccer
I was
spring, fall.
softball.
Yeah.
Tennis. I
I
played
was
tennis.
Softball. I do remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but I think now there's a lot of kids you have doing multiple sports in a season.
Well, it's because
Well.
the seasons all overlap.
That's the other thing.
I feel like soccer is like year round now. It's like
Yes.
spring, winter, indoor soccer, and then fall as well.
Yeah.
When it
Yeah.
used to just be fall. And hockey starts in fall when it used to just be winter
Yes.
it starts at the end of the summer. Let's be clear.
and fall, September.
I couldn't believe this
September.
year when you were like, oh, we have hockey starting. I was like, what?
Yeah, fall, September. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
It's
Yep.
crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah. So I think, it's hard because the seasons bleed into each other. And I'm laughing at my naive self, even just 1 year ago, who was like, nope, my kid's only doing one sport per season.
Yeah.
Because that has completely gone out the freaking window.
It's so hard.
Well, it's hard because like the overlap.
Yeah.
It's tough. I do want to talk. I mean, I'm sure if we went and asked our parents, I'm sure at the time sports were expensive, but I feel like now it's just become this huge business. Like all of even the in-town sports are expensive. And then you have
So
travel
expensive.
teams, which forget about. And then all like the summer camps, the special leagues, equipment even is like
Crazy.
insanely
Insane.
It is
expensive.
insane.
And then you have the parents that are doing like private lessons and like
Yeah.
private coaching sessions and like agility sessions for like 8-year-olds. And I'm like, wait, what?
What is an agility?
Haven't you seen it on Instagram? Like I've seen parents posting like kids like going to like workout places where we work out and they're like showing them how to like lift and like do like
At
off-season training.
Well, I can tell you, like the person I took golf lessons with, I'm sure he's not listening, but he was telling me that he wants his daughter to be like a pro golfer, and was taking her to like a trainer, like an athletic trainer. Guys,
That's what I mean.
She's like 10.
That's what I mean. Kids are working out with trainers at like age 8 and 10. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I could see if you're like, okay, we're doing like
Maybe like high
sprints or
school, or maybe I could get behind that.
But you bring up a good point. The money.
The money is
so
crazy.
much money.
Guys, it's a business. Like it's become a business.
So much
Youth
money.
sports have become a business.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think though that parents are being sold this idea, like if you do all of this, your kid's going to get a college scholarship or
Yes.
go pro?
Yes, I think that's what
1,000%.
I wish we had the stats. I feel
That's-
like we did in our last
I know.
episode.
That's
It's
what
not a lot.
it's like. Less than 1% of kids become professional athletes.
Yes.
Less than 1% of like
all
high school athletes and college athletes.
Yeah.
Or
I feel like it was
something,
all high school athletes,
which is insane.
which is nothing. And even a small percentage go to D1 or even play a sport in college.
I know.
Even D3,
I know.
which
But
is crazy to me.
parents are like holding out for that. Why
I
do you
well,
think
college
that
is so expensive. So if your kid can get a scholarship,
Do you think? I don't feel like that's. I don't
think
feel
that's-
like that's the
that's not-
driving force.
that's not the driving
No.
force.
I feel like it's
For
like
sure not.
bragging rights or like the parents that like didn't get
They're
to
like,
do
My
that.
parents didn't have like the means to do this, so now I'm going to give it everything I have.
You think that's what it is?
I
And
think
they
it's-
are like,
yeah.
I didn't get the chance to be a hockey player, so now I'm just gonna
See,
have my kid do.
I feel like
I
it's
think-
maybe the bragging.
me too. I think it's like living vicariously through your
that's,
kid.
That's
Yeah.
part of it. Is they're like, I want this, so I'm gonna have my child be that.
Yeah, which is
Well,
so.
apparently
great.
I
my
don't
child.
push my children in sports, so it's fine.
What do you
No.
mean?
I feel like they are playing sports.
They
What
are
you
playing
talking
sports, but I
about?
I don't know. We'll get into this later. I think
Okay.
we can talk about like if your kid doesn't want to play a sport, do you still make them play a sport? But we can get into that later.
There's the watch again.
Yep.
The 10 o'clock beat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's already
9:30 beat.
Oh, I was like, oh my God, it's already 10 o'clock.
I also think that there's this pressure on kids to be winners. Like there's like so much hype for them to win. And of course, like we want our kids to like have the drive to like win and work hard and practice towards something great.
Yeah.
But I like wonder, are they even having fun sometimes?
Yeah. Well, I think about it differently. Winning is fun. So I think like it stems from that.
Yeah.
Right. Like everyone wants to win.
Well,
It's just like human nature.
Yeah.
Like nobody likes to lose.
Right.
So like, I don't know. Like, I don't think you can say like if you're playing a sport, like the whole point is to win.
I know, but we are training obsessively towards winning.
Yeah.
And like you're losing sight of like all the other wonderful things that sports give kids.
Oh, for sure.
Especially in elementary school.
For sure. I'm not turning away from that. I just think like that is what a sport is. Like you're supposed to try to win the sport.
Yeah, I think at some age you flip to that. Like, and when, I mean, I feel like now that our oldest kids, they've moved away from like everybody gets a trophy, which thank God. Remember, I mean, I guess when the kids were like in kindergarten and below, like a 3-year-old, yeah, you can't be like, yeah, you won your, your little flag soccer, like football game or the soccer where it was like a joke because it was just like, it's like all the kids follow in a little pack to get to the ball.
Yeah. U4 soccer's so cute.
I mean, it is fun now. Like, I don't know. The kids do keep track in their games. Definitely of the score.
Oh, yeah. They know. They know how many goals they scored at 8 years old, second graders. Yeah. They know how many goals they scored. They know who won.
If they're placing in skiing, my daughter, it's like, you want to be top 10. So that's like when she's like, I'm top 10. I'm like, no, you weren't top 10. But I love that you think you were. Yeah. I love it so much.
Keep that dream.
So I guess my point in that, like, I think it's okay to like foster to win because like that's what a sport is for.
Yeah.
And of course you have to focus on the other things and like enjoy the journey to winning. Yeah. Like that's a big thing.
Right? Yeah. And I think having that balance of when you do lose, it's like that they have that healthy understanding of, yeah, I cannot win all the time. And when I lose, do it gracefully. And you played a hard game and you did your best.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah. We can't be making bad losers.
Because also then you get these kids again who are just, if they always are winning and always think they're going to win, they're going to be awful adults.
Oh, that's true. Because that's not real life, right? Like, so you have to learn how to lose gracefully and like, I don't know, enjoy the process.
Stat about, we had texted about this a few months ago about girls who've played in team sports.
Yeah.
Like it's like 98%.
Oh yeah.
Like
go on to
like do great things in their careers or be a CEO,
college education.
So anyway, it does get your girls in sports more than anything. We'll have to, that we'll have to find the stat and like repost that. But I think it's good. Okay. Can we talk about the sidelines? Because, this weekend there was, again, at this game when it was pouring rain, and like there was this one guy on the other team, this dad, who all the kids, it's lacrosse. So you cannot check in girls lacrosse.
Which is so hard to watch.
Which is so hard. But the guy was like yelling and he's like, they were all trying to get to the ball. One of our girls had it and was cradling the ball. And the guy is yelling, whack her, whack her, whack her.
Yeah.
I was like, sir.
No, that was crazy.
Settle down.
I have a similar story when we just played in our like hockey championship game and the coach on the other team was literally like, hit him. It's mite hockey. There's no hitting in mite hockey.
Yeah.
And he was telling his kids to hit my kids. And me and the other coaches were like, wait, is he serious?
Wait, what?
Wait, and that was a coach? Like this was just a dumb dad on the sideline. No, like that guy should know better.
This was a coach. He was like, hit him. We were like, did he just say that? And then he was like, yeah, hit him. We were like, sir.
You're like, no.
Sir, you can't do that.
You actually can't do that.
I will also say though, like I definitely cheer. I'm like, good job. Go get him. Like you sat next to me. I was yelling from people the whole time.
At least you're coming from a positive place.
Oh, for sure. Like I was encouraging, but it's hard for me to just be a silent fan. Which
I can't be a silent fan.
I'm going to try to work on it and say less.
Don't change because then when I'm on the sidelines too, I'm like, this is great.
I was like apologizing to Mandy. I was like, oh, sorry.
It's fine.
No.
I was like, cheer for me.
But I was cheering. I wasn't like, and then I was like, run, run, run. But well, I think that brings up a great point. Like, and I was listening to a podcast about like coaching, and it was like, parents, let the coaches coach. Like, don't be coaching your kid from the sideline, which is so true. And even coaches, they say when you're like playing the game, like you can give them simple directions, but you're supposed to really let them play, which is difficult for me. I'm going to be honest. That's something that I have to work on. Like, I'm like, skate, go. But that's confusing to these little kids, right? So like you're supposed to like be tough in practice, teach them all you can at practice, and then in games, sit back and let the creativity flow. Let them make mistakes. It can be hard at this age, I think, because we are watching some of the girls and some of them just stand there. They're like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So you definitely, and then you can say run, right? And the coaches are saying green light, like when they can shoot. I think that's like the perfect prompt.
Yes.
They're like green light, and then the girls know they can go to the net and shoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're like, parents, let the coaches do that, right? And then
I don't do that. I will be like,
go. Me too. Yeah. Me too. But I found that podcast interesting.
I can hear parents. I don't want to like call them out because I think some of them listen, but so you probably know who you are. But I can hear parents yelling positive things too, and it's like always the same parents you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can hear them.
It's probably me.
You are one of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've noticed, but I always like separate from the pack a little because I'm like, I'm gonna yell. I can't control myself, even though it's like.
That's smart. That's why you were down the end. I should do that.
Well, my son was also twirling his umbrella. I was
I'm like
he's
sitting in the middle yelling.
He's going to take somebody's eye
out.
What about, and I don't think I've really witnessed this yet, but like parents who start yelling at the other coaches or at a ref. Like that's getting a little intense.
No.
Yeah.
Also, the refs are really young. So
yeah, I mean,
in these sports.
I've like seen it, and I've heard stories about it where like, not in our town. It was somebody coaching another town on the North Shore, and another coach went at a young ref. And afterward, they had to like report the situation. They had to apologize to the ref because they were
a
high school
like high school students for the most part.
Yeah, that's maybe not even.
Hockey gets really, really bad.
So inappropriate.
Coaches have been suspended for yelling, swearing at refs. Parents have been kicked out of games. Not my team.
Was like,
no, but
I'm gonna come watch a game
in our league. It's really bad.
It is so bad.
I think that's a no-go.
Okay, so one of the things that I was listening to because I listened to the episode today, our last episode on sports, and Mandy was talking about going to a lacrosse training, and it was like she had to like give up a day. Like, what do you think about like parents who are poorly behaved and get written up? Like, they should have to go to a training.
No,
like
I agree.
They get like a yellow card for a parent.
They have to go
like a
take
1
a
hour
2-hour online course.
I agree.
About how to be a sportsman fan.
I love that idea.
I do like it. It's never going to happen, but I think it's a great idea.
I know who would
no one's going
that, but that's genius.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
You are out of your mind. Take this training.
I love that.
I just picture like another parent on the sideline, like whipping out like you're poorly behaved. You're out of here.
Yellow card.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
More fights.
Like the ref running over and being like, "You're out of here."
Dude, they should do that.
I'm gonna come with a stack of yellows.
I also feel like there's certain teams that get like bad reputations for parents, right? Like, I mean, I saw it at the hockey rink. There were specific teams who you knew those parents were bad.
Yeah.
And like,
what's up with like, why? Like, is it just like the town thing, or like there's one bad parent and then the rest kind of are like, oh, it's okay for me to be like that?
I don't know. I think it's like the culture of the team. And I think it's like what the coach accepts. Like, I really think it comes, like everything comes back to coaches. Like, I think coaches have to like set the tone. Like, if I had anything like that happen, I would literally pull the parent aside and be like, you're not allowed to come back.
Yeah. Just it sets an even a worse example for all the kids.
Or
like hearing it.
Kick the kid off the team. Like,
yeah,
it stinks for the kid, but like parents, like you have to do better. It's actually crazy.
I think that's intense to kick the kid off. But I hear what you're saying. It is it is bad.
Yeah.
Parents have to have more respect.
Well, there's a lot of shit people in the world.
I know. We've gotten really lucky, I feel like, on all my teams so far, knock on wood. I don't think we've had any, or I'm at least talking for myself, and I'm on teams with you guys, any bad parents or any like in the stands things that have happened.
No, I haven't either. I know.
Just the other team parents yelling for them to hit our kids. I was like, wait.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I like couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God.
There are definitely last year I experienced some parents in lacrosse that were pretty intense.
Oh,
yes.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe sure. I wasn't paying attention. I was probably chasing my other 2 kids around.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's usually
but
what
they
happens.
were very intense. Screaming. Yeah. And there's some good towns out there. I get it. People get worked up.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. I bet those parents most likely did not play sports.
No.
Growing up.
No.
They're the ones living vicariously through their children.
Always those guys.
And are hoping
they weren't good athletes.
And hoping for that college scholarship.
Yeah. They were like high school has-beens, or probably like 3rd or 4th line high schoolers. They were JVers in high school.
Oh. All right. Fixing the system. What do you think healthy sports look like for kids?
Oh man. I mean, I think it's trying as hard as you can. Truly, I was laughing at myself from the last episode that we recorded on this, like thinking that you could do one sport a season, but I really think it's like fostering an athlete and not specializing in too much for your kids. Like letting them play soccer, letting them play hockey, letting them play softball, and sometimes I think that means like adding more to your plate. Like, for instance, my middle guy, he really wanted to play flag football, and he's already playing a million other sports in the spring, the boys' sports in the spring. It's crazy. But all his friends were playing. And so I'm like, it's 1 day a week. Okay.
See, that's nice. It's 1 day a week.
I know.
Like when you have when you have overlapping sports that are 3-4 days a week, it's...
Yeah, some of them, like the little kid stuff, some of them are still like 1 or max 2 days a week. And I think like, let them try it out. Like let them have fun. And that's going to make like the good athletes. I think that's so healthy. Like the kids that get to play all the things are so much better at sports, and they end up being better at the sport that the one kid is specializing in, right? Just because they're like well-rounded.
The one thing I will say is though, it's tough because if your kid doesn't even want to just play 2 sports, like in the spring, like let's say soccer and lacrosse, it's hard because when you're signing up, you don't know the days of practices or games.
This just happened.
And what is happening is you're having to choose, like, am I going to lacrosse or am I going to soccer? And then it's tough because it's hard to get to that team dynamic when you're only able to go to 1 practice or no practices a week and you're just showing up for games.
Not to throw the dads under the bus, but I feel like the moms do a really great job across the sports, like coordinating when the different spring sports are. And the dads, they're not doing such a great job because there's lots of overlaps in the boys managed sports. Just saying. Yes.
I think it's across. Like you hear about it from Mike all the time about kids not showing up to practices because you remember that.
It's frustrating.
It is super frustrating, especially as a coach. And I get it. Like for soccer, we can't go to, there's 2 practices. We can't make one because it's the same day as lacrosse.
Yeah. I don't know. We live in one town. Like, can't there be a major spreadsheet and everyone can pick a different time?
The field times
That's
all
what I
have
mean.
to be chosen.
Yeah, stagger the times.
Not doing this right. But going back to the healthy sports, everything you said. So I think that like my kids have been really vocal about wanting to try different things, and I really try to make it happen. But we also draw some lines. So I'm like, hey, we've run out of days, and keep in mind, and I remind the kids, it's nice to have a day or 2 off.
Agree.
Where we can do nothing.
1,000%.
So that's one thing that we've been trying to,
I like that,
to bring into the mix. We also, it happened this winter, and I can tell it's already going to happen this spring, is that a few times there was that conversation where, and given my oldest, she loves sports. She wants to play everything, where she was like, I don't want to go back. And this was at lunchtime skiing. Now she's in the ski racing program. She's like, I don't want to go back out. And I was like, okay, let's get your stuff. And I texted the coach and I said, I'm so sorry. We're wrapping it. We're calling it a day.
I love that.
And we left.
Yeah.
And I think that listening to your child in those moments, who's because she's always pushing herself. I was like, we're done.
No, I like that. You know your kid best. And I feel like you have to if they're having that moment, totally.
Yeah.
I also think there's a balance, right? Where I think sometimes I push my kids in the opposite direction where they're like, oh, I don't want to go to lacrosse practice tonight. And I'm like,
you got to go.
girl, you got to go. Like, you signed up and you made a commitment to a team. So you're going. And I know it's raining and it stinks, but like, that's part of it.
Yeah.
And then she goes and she has the best time. And she's like, thank you so much for making me go. It's a hard balance.
It is. There's that happening too in my house. Yeah. No, it's really hard.
I also, and I think we said this on last time when we recorded sports, I have a rule. If you sign up for a season, you finish the season out.
Yes.
I don't care if you're miserable. You won't play next season.
Yeah, you got to finish.
You have to finish.
Yeah. And I think like parents, hold your kid accountable. Like, they signed up, you made a commitment to the team. And these are like older. I'm not talking like U3 and U4, 3 and 4-year-old soccer players. Like, that's
Your
not
3-year-old's
serious,
crying.
right? Yeah. But like second graders, right? Like, you signed up, you made the decision, you want to go, and we're gonna see it through.
I would actually challenge that comment about the 3 and 4-year-olds. I am not saying I know everything at all. I don't. I still have one that's yet to start the program. But I would make both of my girls refuse to. We signed up and they would get excited, and then we'd show up and they'd be crying and they'd be attached to my leg. And I would sit on the sidelines and I'd say, nope, we have to cheer your team on. We are staying.
Yeah. No,
And
I like that.
Killed me on the inside. I think there was even this one horrible story where like she was throwing such a bad tantrum. I walked away and a parent approached her and was like, where's your mommy? And I was like, dude, we're throwing a tantrum.
You're like,
Let it just happen.
no, I like that.
They're calling around yelling like, where's
Who's
this
her
girl's
mother?
mom?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's
No,
like-
I appreciate that.
I'm not gentle parenting right now, okay? Just let it be. Walking away.
DCF shows.
It's funny, but not funny. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh God. That parent probably was like, what is wrong with you? But really, we needed a breather.
Right.
Maybe she thought she was being helpful.
She definitely did.
We'll approach it from the positive side. Oh God. No, yeah, that's true. Okay.
I know. There was a question on here that was like, what kind of conversations are you having with your significant other to like make sure that you guys are creating boundaries in sports and like setting good examples?
Ooh.
I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I don't think I have had a conversation. But also like I think if my husband was a different personality and he was the one screaming like a lunatic on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Not like cheering. Cheering is different from, I think, yelling.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you're yelling, so like, let me, I just want to correct that. Yeah, I'm okay with cheering. People who are yelling,
you can keep cheering.
people who are like screaming at the kids or the coaches or having a poor attitude, I would personally have to be like, you got to knock it off. You're going to go sit in the car.
Agree.
Definitely.
I love that. Yeah.
Like that's got to be tough for like some of the moms who are just sitting there and if they are like with their bad attitude husband yelling.
Oh, that would be awful. In my house, we're having a lot of scheduling conversations. So like, I made like a spring schedule, like day by day. I put it out and I was like, here's where we're at because we are playing a lot of sports right now. And I have my 2 little guys like really love sports too.
Yeah.
And they want to play everything. I mean, you guys know, even my 4-year-old, he wants to play everything and he's not old enough to play most things. So we made a schedule and there's a lot of, hey, here's what this commitment, if we sign so-and-so up for this, is going to look like. Like, can you commit? Because I can't be in 3 places at once. So
you need that Uber driver.
yeah, no, honestly, if anyone wants a job, I'm hiring.
Van.
Because
Genius.
because I just can't,
It's a lot.
stuff is at the same time.
Yeah.
The older kids now you can drop off if you're not coaching, right? Like most of the time, but like you can't be at the soccer field and the flag football field and the baseball field at the same time. So there's a lot of conversations happening and like, can we really take this on? And like, is it feasible? And like, let's not stress ourselves out because.
Yeah.
And like, I think to Jen's point earlier, like you do need like a day off. I don't have a day off.
And my kids love the day off. They love the day. They love sports, but they love to come home and they're like, what day is it? They're like, we get to play. and they're rollerblading in the driveway and riding their bikes.
Doing kid things.
Yeah.
Sports are kids things, but like, yeah.
Yes. But
Not being rushed.
They love
Using
it.
their imagination.
They love
Yeah.
the days off. So
I should say though, the hard part is that my kids don't have the same day off, which stinks.
all the
Yeah.
same. Yeah.
It's not.
So you're
it
always,
can't work
someone's
out. So
always
it's like
running.
someone's always going to something, but the other ones usually, well, Brooks is not doing anything right now.
Just going
But
to
yeah.
say something. Having a learn to play a sport on a Friday evening at 6 p.m. is probably the worst time of the week for
Oh yeah.
kindergarteners.
No,
the end of the
so,
week.
It's so
They are
bad.
so tired.
Okay, people across the nation
Take note.
making these programs. I had this conversation with the hockey program because Learn to Play
Yeah.
Mini Mites was at 6 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays.
6
It
a.m.
was. Yeah. When Presley first started, do you remember every Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m. I
Yeah.
was getting up.
I remember like having a
getting up
wine
at
night
5.
and you'd be like,
Dude,
I can't drink. I gotta go.
Except then
You
I
did.
drink 70 glasses of wine and be at hockey at 6 in the morning. So, but my point was like, you
He was
have
drinking
to,
pear juice.
you have to make these Learn to Play programs at like convenient times for families
I
and
know.
also for the little kids. Like little kids are tapped out at Friday at 6 p.m. Little
agree.
kids
So
do not
tired.
want to get up in the dead of winter at 5 a.m. and go learn how to play hockey. So it's like, I don't know, if you're listening, folks, and you're developing programs, like make it at a good time.
Yeah.
If you really want to develop the
Yeah.
program and get
Yeah.
kids there and get them to love it.
And excited about it.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah. That
I
being
know.
said, who's someone who has not had to scheduling these programs, but there's
I
got to
know.
be a better time.
I know. It has to be
Literally
hard. but
has to
there's
be a better time.
There has to be some sort of scheduling system. And I think we should throw out to the audience. Does anyone know any amazing like sports experts or someone that would come on our podcast and talk about like coaching kids
yeah.
or like has like a coaching podcast or like
Yeah.
has like a kids in sports podcast? I think it would be so cool to have an actual expert,
Yeah.
right? Because we're
Yeah.
just regular moms,
just
real
three-
moms.
Three moms
Surviving
Chit-chatting.
over here.
Chit-chatting, bitching about our
Sports.
schedules and sports.
I mean,
and
it's not just us.
I know, no,
For the
everyone
record.
is.
For the record.
Everyone feels the same way. But don't you think it would be cool to have
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
expert on
Yeah.
to
Like
talk about this?
Yeah.
I mean,
like
we're
the good and the
sli-
bad, like the good and the bads of
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
sports.
We're sliding into people's DMs, but if you guys have anyone, please send them our way, because we would love to find somebody to talk
Yeah.
about this.
That would be good.
All right.
Gods-
Anything else you want to leave the people with?
No.
Kids sports?
Godspeed. Good luck.
Godspeed.
but it is good. Get your kids in sports.
Get your kids in sports. Remember to pack snacks when you're running from said sport.
Oh, yeah.
2 extra water bottles.
Dude. I
We'll
laugh.
always have an extra mouth guard too in the car because
Oh,
of the drops.
I just ordered
Pro.
4.
Yeah.
Pro
Yeah.
tip.
I
All their
used
mouths changed.
yeah, and I used my extra, so I'm down 0, but I gotta order another one. Ava's dropped.
Coaches have the extras in your bag too.
Snacks, extra chairs.
Right? Band-Aids, ice packs.
Like
Umbrellas.
you know what we should do? You know, what'd be
Umbrellas,
funny
towels.
is to do a reel in the back of all of our cars right now,
Oh,
or to
oh
just
my
go up
God.
to random moms in the school parking lot. Can you open up your like the back of your car?
oh my god.
It's sports like spectator chairs.
Yes.
Definitely a ball or two.
Yes.
Yes.
Sticks.
So you know at
Umbrellas.
school drop off, I have child lock on my car, so the teachers have to open the door. Something falls out of the car every time. There was
child,
there was
a
like
ball.
a ball falling out. There was like a hockey stick coming out one day. There was a rollerblade yesterday. They're like, this lady. One time there was a Celsius can. I was like, it's a Celsius, not a White Claw. They're like, Mrs. Santarelli is not.
You just drive away. You
it's
peel
so
out.
real life though. It's so good.
I'd have to
so
say.
good.
Oh my god. That's
All
a good
right.
one.
Well,
All right.
guys. Cheers and good luck with the sports. Stop yelling on the sidelines and
Good luck. Good night.
send us your best sports story.
Bye.
Bye.